Event, Titans, who you were just talking about, over the Commanders.
I don't hate.
Both in the commercial break, both Brew and Coach Mangini are saying, "Ooh, I wouldn't want to play the Titans." And number one reason, this defense. We started to look at the stats and we're like, "Are you sure the Titans defense are going?" Like, nah, they played Aaron Rodgers. And all of a sudden, we're deep into the year now. The Titans defense, I think we have to say, is legitimately pretty good. Reason number two, and Coach, earmuffs. Pumpkin mode here? A little bit. You can call it, a nice term for pumpkin mode is rookie wall.
He's a little tired.
Pumpkin mode is on the board. Also, the first 9 games, if you take out the Hail Mary, you take out a wonderful play against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, who deserved to win that game. But it was just a great play. It could have gone either way. It's like, were we getting a little bit too high on the Commanders? And finally,
we'll see.
Brew, this one's near and dear to your heart. We should be on the same team here. Commanders rushing defense, not great. And read the bottom line there.
Seventh in rushing.
Come on.
He's probably leading the AFC. Is he leading?
No, Derrick Henry's in the AFC.
Oh, yeah. Outside of
Second in the AFC.
Outside of Derrick Henry.
I think you're on Thanksgiving break.
A Tony Pollard game. I like it a lot. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm believing in the Titans.
I don't hate that one. And the coach has sworn to us that at some point they're going to have a great offensive line. Maybe this is the year.
It'll be the best in the NFL. It will be, not one day, soon.
Yeah, because.
Okay. We gotta stop with this nonsense, man. Jayden Daniels is on pumpkin watch. And you want to say that, his game against the Bengals was reduced to just like one big throw. Well, that means you didn't watch the game. Okay? That means you didn't watch the game. You know who had impressed Troy Aikman? Okay? So I think if you're impressing Troy Aikman and essentially like leaving him like speechless throughout that game, yeah, I'm going to trust his eyes. He was actually at the game, and obviously he knows football and quarterback play way better than probably anyone else watching this video. I am pretty confident in that. And if not, by all means, please leave a comment. Let's talk. Let's discuss. But yeah, okay. Dude, Jayden Daniels is a rookie quarterback who has made this team immediately viable. I mean, it's so annoying because I hate repeating myself. I hate it. But when we keep getting these same absurd takes, the Washington Commanders were an awful team. Jayden Daniels got drafted to an awful team that needed to be completely rebuilt from the ground up, new coaching, new everything, and immediately turned this team into a competitor. The fact that they're even favored is remarkable. It just shows you how much of a turnaround this team has made. And you want to say that Jayden Daniels is in pumpkin watch? You know what's really good? They said that about Sam Darnold, and that take aged terribly. That take aged absolutely awfully. So, you know what? All the pumpkin modes end up being, any of the pumpkin watches end up aging very well for the actual quarterback itself. So actually, if you're a Washington Commanders fan or a Jayden Daniels fan, you should be like, all right, that's awesome. Good. Put him on pumpkin watch, because that means great things will happen. Again, I don't know if the Washington Commanders are going to be able to, course correct and get everything back humming how they had before. They've had some injuries. They're banged up. Jayden Daniels is a rookie. They do need a bye. They need some time. They need to course correct. They need to kind of, self-diagnose what's been going on and whatnot. All things that all teams need to kind of deal with, but especially extra hard when you're dealing with a rookie quarterback. You are having your run game, constantly being banged up how many games have they had in a row where they just have their run game what they need it to be, right? And where no one's injured, they stay healthy the whole time, not questionable to return, not out for the rest of the game. I mean, I can't remember. Have they had like back-to-back games where that's even been the case? So there's just a lot of inconsistencies that they've had to deal with. That's just, what happens throughout an NFL season, but can be difficult to overcome these circumstances. I've said this again and again and again. This team was always a work in progress. Always. So again, if you want to make the argument, hey, I think the Titans will beat the Commanders, that's fine. But you can do so in a way that doesn't be like, nah, Commanders are fool's gold, not really that impressive, this, that. Like, are you kidding me? The moments, first of all, what Jayden Daniels did, again, because I'm only referencing this game because he did against the Bengals, like, his success was not reduced to just one play, that one throw. He was big time in that game. I don't even remember the exact details of it, quite frankly. I'll be totally honest. But it was like big play after big play. I remember in the very beginning, Jayden Daniels missed like a throw, missed a read. And Troy Aikman was like, hey, he missed that. He'll learn that as he matures and grows in the NFL and blah, blah. He gave kind of like the prototypical response that you would do. Hey, this is something that he's going to learn and grow and start to understand that this is where you go with the ball, et cetera, et cetera. And then I remember buckling up ready for a game where that's what it was going to look like. Troy Aikman was going to drop a lot of wisdom throughout this and be like, yeah, this is what Jayden Daniels needs to evolve and grow. And this is some of his limitations and this or that. And then from that point forward, and that was like in the first quarter, like maybe even the first drive. And from that point forward, the whole time Troy Aikman was just like laughing. And was just like, kind of like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Like, this is wild. This is amazing. And Jayden Daniels had multiple games like that. Those aren't accidents. Those aren't just random hot streaks. Okay. And if you look at Jayden Daniels' numbers as a whole, they've been excellent. Excellent. People always love to just say, well, what about the last 2 games or the last 3 games or since week whatever? And it's like, those are just made up things. Those are ways to just cook the books. If you're going to play that game, do the season as a whole. Don't just do the last 2 games, last 3 games. Especially because now you have to look, if you're going to do that, then look at the very specific circumstances. Are they 100%? What does the injuries look like? Are they playing top defenses? Who are they playing? The Steelers, a top team. The Ravens, a top team. The Eagles, a top team. Yes, we've discovered that the Washington Commanders are not a top team in the NFL. That's not groundbreaking. Spoiler alert, rookie quarterbacks typically don't dominate or excel or play top-level quarterback play when they're not on a great team against great teams. Shocking, I know. Stunning. Groundbreaking. Unbelievable. Sound the alarms. Call the presses. Make YouTube videos about it. I'm making them right now. It's just absurd. Honestly, it really, really is. So this game just got juicy, and this should be a tough game, honestly, actually, because the Titans defense is for real. It is. At first, I was thinking of the Commanders. I'm so turned around with the holidays now. I was thinking that the Commanders had like extra time off, like they played on Thursday, and then now this was a Sunday game, but it's not, right? It's just Sunday to Sunday. That was a tough loss for them. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they bounce back. Fortunately, they're at home. I don't think a loss like that is going to be something that like causes them to unravel. I don't really believe that when you're kind of well coached and well led. Typically, when you have an awful culture, that can happen. But I just don't see that happening with Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Jayden Daniels, and a couple other like legitimate veterans, like even like a Zach Ertz for that matter. I just don't see it happening. Like I said, I think the Titans do have some fight in them. I think this will come down to like what type of game do you get out of like a Will Levis? Like, are you getting Will Levis? Has Will Levis turned a corner and now he's like a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL? Like, again, I don't know. I don't really have super strong opinions of him because he's been obviously comically wildly inconsistent. So yeah, if you get like a legit game out of Will Levis and he's kind of like, balling a little bit and that defense, well then yeah, this will be a tough game for the Commanders. No question about it. Again, and that's not shocking and shouldn't be shocking to a Commanders fan either, considering of where you're at. But if you're going to get like an inconsistently led offense from the from the Titans, then I would love to see what the Commanders can do with that. If they get extra possessions, short field, position and all of that, it'll be interesting to see. I would love to see the type of I would love to see what Jayden Daniels can do facing some of this adversity, facing this losing streak. Again, it might be out of his control. He might be too limited just by the team that he has right now, where he can't really show that level of resilience. And quite frankly, if they lose, even if they lose convincingly, it won't really tell me anything. Honestly, if they win, I'll actually be more impressed because I think that's, again, it's hard to make what that is, 5.5. Titans getting 5.5 points. I just think it's having a team that is so good defensively, because again, the Titans are legitimately a top defense in the NFL, and having that balanced out or imbalanced out with such awful, inconsistent, bizarre quarterback play, it becomes impossible to evaluate a team like the Titans. How good are they? And should they be favored or not? It becomes brutal. It's just when you're having so many 3-and-outs and being dominated from time of possession and all, it's just too hard to know. It really is. I at least I personally struggle evaluating teams like that. It's just there's just too many landmines to be misled by. So that's why it's like, if the Titans actually legitimately win, like I don't think it would be like, oh wow, the Titans are a bad team and they just beat the Commanders, therefore the Commanders are a bad team or they're in free for all or anything like that. I think I just got to honestly really just watch this game, see how it unfolds, see what they look like, and based off of that, then I could reach a conclusion. Because I could see the Commanders rolling the Titans and I could be like, yeah, that wasn't really that impressive of a win. Yeah, I know they won by like 45, but like, nah, so-and-so coughed the ball up 5 times, like, or whatever it may be. Or it could be a really tight game and the score could be like 15-10 and the Commanders could lose. And I could say, you know what, that was actually a really good game. The Commanders really held their own. Jayden Daniels was really locked in. Cliff Kingsbury called a beautiful game. Dan Quinn really was able to get pressure. Like, you know what I mean? That's why it's like when you're talking about two teams that you're still trying to kind of like, figure out where they all stand. To me, the outcome, to me, how the game is played ends up being so much more important than the outcome in terms of evaluating what it is. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders, Jayden Daniels being on Pumpkin Watch? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.